lover of Voltaire. Here is what the world knows about Émilie du Châtelet, even though she was the first to explain gravity to the French by translating Newton's Principia. She had numerous lovers, discoveries, and contributions to the world's history. How could she handle all of it in an era of total patriarchy? To discover this, let's travel to 18th century France, with its luxury mansions, high fashion, dinner parties, and absolute delusion about what was driving the movements of the planets. We're arriving at an aristocratic household in Paris, where the most glamorous female mathematician in history was born into a family of the chief of protocol at Louis XIV's court in Versailles. By 12, she was fluent in Latin, Italian, Greek, and German. She enjoyed dancing, played the harpsichord, and sang opera. As a teenager, she used her math skills to create successful gambling strategies when short of money for books. Such a strong thirst for knowledge made her mother anxious, so she tried to send Émilie to a convent. At the age of 18, she married the Marquis du Châtelet, and they had 3 children. Even though they led separate lives, which was common among aristocratic families at the time, they maintained a strong friendship. The Marquis supported Émilie's ambition and backed her when she submitted an innovative essay on light and heat for the Paris Academy's competition. It was well received, and Émilie became the first woman to have a scientific paper published in the prestigious journal. Also, he supported her passionate relationship with Voltaire. Voltaire fled to France from England to avoid arrest due to his controversial sarcastic novels, hiding in Émilie's mansion in Champagne. They turned the house into an academy where they studied, wrote, discussed philosophy, and hosted free-thinking intellectuals. Together, they built up a collection of 20,000 books, larger than most European universities' libraries. During one of these evenings, Voltaire shared Newton's brilliant ideas, which later became a turning point in the Enlightenment in France. By that time in England, Sir Isaac Newton and his followers explained all the motions of the heavenly bodies and of the tides of the sea. They called it gravitation and explained its laws. But on the other side of the La Manche Channel, admirers of René Descartes' theory spread the idea of a swirling cosmic ether that, like a celestial tornado, swept up the planets in its wake. Such a gap in knowledge. So Voltaire and Émilie entered the game to explain the mysteries of the universe. For 15 years, the couple lived together, sharing their passion for science under the eyes of her tolerant husband. Émilie translated Newton's Principia into French and added her own reworking of some of Principia's key proofs in calculus to the appendix. In the months leading up to her death, Émilie's calculus proofs were checked, and thanks to them, an accurate prediction of the return of Halley's comet in 1759 became available. As a result, Émilie's book was published in the same year. She would have been delighted, as she knew that the comet held the key to securing Newton's reputation. In 1749, at the age of 42, Émilie died shortly after giving birth to the child of her new lover, the Marquis de Saint-Lambert. She had become a prominent figure in the scientific establishment, a rarity for women at the time. Society gossips suggested that her death was a consequence of her unconventional lifestyle, but Voltaire, although no longer romantically involved with her, remained by her side until the end. In a letter to a friend, he described himself as a tiny planet in her vortex, hobbling along